This is the Scorecard, where you score the latest sports news and in-depth views. I'm Anton Roxas. On the Scorecard tonight, the PFF salutes football icons Reichelt and Annis for stellar careers. Rianne Malixi takes third in the Australian Masters Thriller. Pinay 5 gears up for the AFC Women's Futsal Asian Cup qualifiers. In the NBA, Anthony Edwards leads the Timberwolves to a comeback win over the LA Clippers, while the Memphis Grizzlies power past the Dallas Mavericks in a decimated lineup showdown. And we have three-time world jiu-jitsu champ Meggie Ochoa to talk about what lies ahead as she ends her competitive career. All the headlines and more on the Scorecard tonight, the 7th of January. Now, here's our roundup. The Philippine Football Federation paid tribute to Patrick Jerry Anthony Kiki Reichelt and Tanay Lauren Rivera Captain T. Annis for their remarkable contributions to Philippine football. Reichelt, the men's team's second all-time leading scorer with 16 international goals, retired on December 22 after 12 stellar years. The Cebuano-rooted forward closed his career on a high, helping the Philippines secure a semifinal spot with a 1-0 win over Indonesia in the ASEAN Football Championship. Annis, captain of the Filipinas during their historic 2023 FIFA Women's World Cup debut, announced her retirement on December 28. With 14 goals in 43 matches, she played a key role in securing the team's World Cup berth through her standout performances in the 2022 Asian Cup qualifiers. PFF President John Anthony Gutierrez praised both athletes and remarked that will be sorely missed. Reichelt, who debuted in 2012, capped his career with 93 appearances, while Annis, who first played in 2018, made 38 appearances in 6 years. Their legacy will continue to inspire Philippine football. It was a valiant effort from the Philippines' Rianne Malixi, but the 17-year-old golf star had to settle for third place in the Australian Master of the Amateurs on Monday at the Southern Golf Club in Victoria, Australia. Malixi was on a mission, chasing down a 4-shot deficit in the final round. She came out swinging, sinking back-to-back birdies on the 10th and 11th holes to catch up with Australia's Ella Scaisbrook at the top. But the momentum slipped away on the next stretch as a bogey and a double bogey on the 12th and 13th derailed her title defense. With a closing 1 over 74, Malixi wrapped up her campaign with a 289 total, just behind Korea's Yeojin Yang, who clinched the title at 286, and Scaisbrook, who finished at 288. Yang claimed the crown at 6 under for the tournament, while Scaisbrook showed flashes of brilliance with birdies on the 10th and 16th, but struggled to maintain her form, carding a 77 after costly bogeys on the 13th, 14th, and 17th holes. Though the trophy slipped from her grasp, this time Malixi's fearless charge and unwavering grit proved that she is still a player to watch. So eyes forward, Rianne. We are proud of you and we are waiting for that win. The Philippine women's national futsal team, fondly known as Pinay 5, is ready to kick off their AFC Women's Futsal Asian Cup qualifiers campaign, marking a crucial step ahead of their hosting duties for the 2025 Women's World Cup. The Nationals are eyeing their first ever Asian Cup berth, but it won't be an easy road. They're in Group C alongside heavyweights Uzbekistan and Kuwait, Turkmenistan, and powerhouse Australia. The action begins on Saturday, January 12, when Pinay 5 takes on Kuwait at 2 a.m. Philippine time at the Unauthorized Sports Complex in Tashkent. They'll face the 2018 quarterfinalists Uzbekistan at 11 p.m. Philippine time. The group stage continues with a January 15 showdown against Turkmenistan and wraps up with a high-stakes clash against Australia on January 19, both at 11 p.m. Philippine time. It's a tight race in the qualifiers with only 9 out of 18 teams advancing to the Asian Cup in China. The top 2 teams from each group plus the best third placer will secure spots in the tournament. The Asian Cup will determine who joins host nation Philippines at the Women's World Cup. Only the top 3 finishers will punch their tickets to the global stage. So stay tuned as the Pinay 5 battles it out for glory and a chance to shine in the biggest futsal stage in the world. We move on now to the NBA, where Anthony Edwards exploded for 37 points, including 28 in the second half, to lead the Minnesota Timberwolves to a thrilling 108-106 victory over the Los Angeles Clippers on Monday night. Despite trailing by 19 in the first half, the Timberwolves rallied to end a 3-game losing streak. Edwards, who dropped 53 points in a loss to Detroit just 2 days earlier, nailed 2 clutch 3-pointers in the final minute to seal the win. Naz Reid chipped in with 18 points off the bench, while Dante DiVincenzo added 15. Rudy Gobert dominated the boards with 18 rebounds. For the Clippers, Norman Powell led with 25 points. James Harden added 22, and Ivica Zubac contributed 17 points and 16 rebounds. Kawhi Leonard, returning from injury, struggled with just 8 points on 3 of 11 shooting in limited time. The turning point came with just over a minute left when Edwards hit a step-back 3 to give the Wolves a 1-point lead and then nailed another shortly after to push the lead to 5. Now, in a game featuring short-handed squads, the Memphis Grizzlies bounced back from a 2-game skid to defeat the Dallas Mavericks 119-104 on Monday night. Both teams were missing key players. Memphis without Desmond Bane, Ja Morant, Santi Aldama, and Marcus Smart, while the Mavericks were without Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving. Jaren Jackson Jr. led the charge with a massive 35 points and 13 rebounds, while Jalen Wells added a solid 17 points and 10 boards. Jackson was all over the court, shooting 13 of 23 with 5 assists, 3 steals, and a block. Scottie Pippen Jr. contributed 18 points, 5 rebounds, 5 steals, and 4 assists, while John Conchar grabbed 13 rebounds. The Mavericks kept it close early but couldn't hold on as P.J. Washington's 17 points and 10 rebounds led Dallas, while Najee Marshall and Klay Thompson chipped in with 16 and 15 points respectively. And here are more results from the NBA and current team standings. And here's your daily dose of sports lingo. A birdie, which is a celebration of precision in the world of golf. A birdie is a prized achievement that every golfer dreams of. It happens when a player completes a hole-in-one stroke under par, showcasing a perfect balance of skill, strategy, and sometimes even a little bit of luck. Whether it's a well-placed drive or an expertly calculated putt or a combination of both, achieving a birdie means the golfer has outperformed the expected score for that hole. It's a moment of pride that pushes players closer to their goals, turning an ordinary round of golf into something extraordinary. When you hear the cheers for a birdie, you know it's a sign of golfing greatness in the making. It's time now for our off-court buzzer. Tragedy struck the sports community as Southeast Asian Games gold medalist Mervin Guarte was fatally stabbed in his hometown, Calapan City, Oriental Mindoro. The 33-year-old obstacle racing champion was reportedly attacked while he was sleeping in the living room in Barangay Councilor Dante Albo Abel's home around 4:30 a.m. Guarte, also an Air Forceman, was able to call for help and was rushed to the hospital, but unfortunately succumbed to his injuries. The news has sent shockwaves through the Philippine sports community. Guarte was a beloved figure known for his 2 gold medals in obstacle racing and 2 silver medals in athletics at the Southeast Asian Games. Condolences have poured in from fellow athletes, pole vaulting star EJ Obiena, Olympic boxing medalist Yumir Felix Marshall, and fellow obstacle racer Kyle Antolin. The Philippine Olympic Committee also expressed their grief with President Abraham Tolentino remembering Guarte as a dedicated and talented athlete. Guarte's untimely passing has left a huge void in Philippine sports as he was not just a champion, but also a mentor and friend to many. And that's our roundup for tonight, the 6th of January. When we return, 3-time World Jiu-Jitsu champion Meggie Ochoa will join us to talk about her continuing passion for her sport even as she ends her competitive career. So watch out for that when we return on The Scorecard.
Ikaw, Winston, ano nang mga naipundar mo? Ano ba?
Sorry po, sir. Sorry po.
Kalma lang. Okay lang.
Mayaman ka.
Alam mo, Han, tama ka nga sa lahat ng panalo ko. Sa inyo ako nakabingo. At mayaman din ako dahil jackpot ako sa inyo.
Every morning,
It's getting better.
let's start your day right with fun and laughter. Join Paulo Del Rosario
Let's get you up to speed with some news that you could use right now.
and Asis Carillo.
We are bringing happiness and cheer along with inspiration, good vibes, and great energy.
And Monique Tuzon.
Your mornings are mo fun with us. Only here on
It's a beautiful day.
At BNC, 12 noon doesn't mean break. We're always ready to give you the latest news. Join Maya Rodriguez delivering fresh news for you.
Price of diesel will increase by $1.45 per liter. Field of flowers cover the square in front of St. John Church.
Vendors we spoke to here in La Loma say sales are up this year.
News feed at noon, only here on BNC.
Magandang gabi, ako si Corina Sanchez Rojas.
Magandang gabi, ako po si Pinky Webb.
Simulan na natin ang agenda.
Nasa radyo na, mapapanood, mapapakinggan.
94.7 FM.
Kahaharap ngayon ang Estados Unidos sa isa na namang 4 na taong Trump presidency.
Binawi niya yung sinabi niya.
Ing masalimuot ang buwan ng Oktubre para sa ilang milyonaryo.
Sa bawat issue may anggulo at ang balita may agenda.
The latest weather updates and forecast.
Could be another tropical cyclone heading towards us at the end of the year.
With information to help us understand important aspects about our climate.
Can you tell us a bit about the jobs that will actually be produced by this project, not just in the construction, but of course in the actual running of this farm?
Weather HQ.
Whatever the weather, only here on BNC, the Billionaire News Channel.
From the filing of candidacies until the last ballot is counted. Your newest trusted news source, BNC, the Billionario News Channel, will be at the forefront to guide your decisions and guard your vote. Tune in to BNC's Election 2025 special coverage.
Good morning, I'm Mikey Orata.
Ferdy Salvador,
Welcome to Industry Beacon,
where we shine a light on the trailblazers.
the disruptors and the industry leaders shaping our future.
And in each episode, we explore how they're staying ahead in their fields.
One industry at a time.
It's a good opportunity to come from Australia here to the Philippines.
AC Health has launched groundbreaking initiatives to improve access to care.
I'm so thrilled we opened the country's first cancer-only hospital.
Industry Beacon on BNC, the Billionario News Channel.
It's looking very smart. Hello, Lenny. He's woken up specially for you. Quite a special place.
This one here.
You've been a good girl. I've been very good, actually. Very good. So, very happy Christmas. Happy. Thank you.
Hello and welcome to Follow the Money. I'm Rain Musni. Join us as we explore the tools and insights you need to jumpstart your financial journey. Apple is closing in on a historic $4 trillion stock market valuation.
ICP is a general purpose blockchain wherein you can build anything and everything.
Market cap of the entire cryptocurrency world to almost 3 trillion. That's almost the money supply of the US.
Keep it here on BNC, the Billionaire News Channel, always on top.
Welcome back to the Scorecard. She may be hanging her competitive gi, but there is no tapping out from her beloved sport as she transitions from world champion to making future champions. Please welcome, right here on the BNC studio, we have Meggie Ochoa.
Hello.
Meggie, good evening. It's good to see you again after so many years.
Yes, good to see you too. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, kamusta ka naman? How have things been as of late?
I've been good. I mean, syempre, maraming time to reflect and like look back on everything, but I'm good.
Oo nga eh, kasi 6 days ago, I mean, if in case there's somebody watching na hindi pa alam ito, it's kind of like those posts na read to achieve. If you do not read the caption, you won't know what the post is all about. Meggie here posted a 3-part post that was alluding to retirement from the national team.
Yeah.
Which, after a few moments, ayan na, all the news outlets started posting articles about it, about you ending your journey as part of the national team. First of all, I guess I want to say congratulations, Meggie, because ang dami mong na-achieve, all the golds, of course, 2 gold medalists, 2-time gold medalists in the SEA Games and another gold medal in the Asian Games for the Philippines, and of course, the other ones, the Worlds. Kamusta naman yung, now that has it sunk in that your journey as a national athlete has come to an end?
Actually, sa totoo lang, not yet as much. It's like I said, like you were actually mentioning earlier, it's a little bit low-key, like the announcement, because I wasn't really planning big on like announcing, because I just had too much going on in Mina. I didn't know what right words to say, and honestly, that's really not yet a legitimate retirement post. It was more on about like the JJIF World Championship. But yeah, I guess it hasn't really fully sunk in yet.
Okay. Let's do a little bit of a retrospective of your career. I was reading about you, of course. You went to the Ateneo, took up management, and during that time, hindi ka pa pumasok sa jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
In fact, you were an athlete in track and field.
Yeah.
And parang I read an article, sinasabi mo na you were kind of just you just tried it out. It wasn't something na, I'm gonna go for this and take this seriously. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so I was a track athlete in college. And then when I graduated, I wanted to keep fit. So I tried MMA at first as a hobby. Syempre, alam mo yun, parang I want to stay fit even if I'm working.
Yeah.
But I liked it so much that I wanted to fight in MMA at first. But I was small and I didn't really have like a legitimate MMA weight class back then.
Yeah.
So my coach told me to do jiu-jitsu instead kasi mas maraming competition. So I tried it and then medyo na-addict ako.
And I think you were very successful very early on. Is that right? Because I saw one of your posts na first international competition mo and then nakapag-gold ka agad.
Well, yes. Yeah. And that's why I went like all out kasi parang jiu-jitsu was like the first thing that I was actually good at. Na I really excelled at. Even just locally, I started winning gold medals. Na I didn't really experience that before in the other things I pursued. And I went to that IBJJF World Championship in 2014. That was my first international competition. And yes, I won gold by God's grace. And and I'm thankful kasi that particular competition was actually crowdfunded. So wala pa kasing national team at that time.
And then during that 2014 competition, when you won gold, ano pa yung belt mo that time?
I was a white belt
White
back
belt
then.
pa.
Yeah,
Kasi every time you participate in that competition, may picture ka sa podium eh. And then, yung tinitignan ko doon, ano bang kulay ng belt ni Meggie ngayon? So there was a white belt, and then there was a blue belt. So tell us about that journey, year after year, you know, disciplining yourself to take part in all of these competitions. What was your biggest learning going through that whole process?
Going through that whole process, I think one of the biggest learnings is consistency. You just have to stay consistent. Kasi I did have that particular goal now of winning the gold in IBJJF competitions every belt level. Although I wasn't able to achieve that, but then I just went at it pa rin. Kasi sometimes you can be heartbroken, diba, if like you don't achieve a certain goal. But I just kept at it. I was consistent, and then the opportunity sa national team came up, and so my goals started to change, and I realized na, okay, I'm gonna keep at it.
Two-time gold medalist in the SEA Games, and then you were also gold medalist in the Asian Games. What does it mean for you to represent the Philippines and, you know, win gold in your particular sport?
Grabe, it's a dream that I never even had as a child. Kasi I as a kid, I was like not really an athlete. And like now looking back, I'm like, wow, I mean, the way that my life turned out to be, I never would have expected it. So I'm still, right now actually, even just the entirety of my career has not sunken in. Parang ganon. I'm like, wow, God, ito ba talaga yung mga nangyari sa buhay ko? Parang ganon.
Yeah, if like me personally, reviewing your career, ang dami talagang nangyari. And like, I can only imagine like the life of somebody like for you in jiu-jitsu, like taking part in all of these competitions. Grabe, napakahirap. Now, a different transition. But I want to ask first about the black belt. Because like, when you think about the black belt, isn't that like one of the goals sa simula, to become a black belt? 2022, is that correct?
Yes.
Was when you earned your black belt?
Yes.
What was the feeling like when you finally got that?
It was a huge surprise because that one was like, I didn't expect that I would be promoted. It was actually a surprise. I got my black belt from Professor Andre Galvao. He's a legend in jiu-jitsu, and it was a huge honor to receive my black belt from him kasi I've known him since I was a white belt and really look up to him. And it was a huge surprise because yun nga, coming off of the pandemic, parang that wasn't, of course I wanted to be a black belt, but I didn't expect to receive it that day, so I was in shock.
Okay, now your last post, which I was checking out earlier, you posted it 6 days ago according to Instagram, and then nakalagay doon, parang you had this realization na you didn't win a medal during that competition, but your teammates won medals, and for that group, yun yung pinakamaraming medals that your group attained in history.
Yes.
And you had this realization na it's bigger than me now.
Yes.
I'm not doing this for myself, but for God and for others.
Yes, exactly. So that's exactly what I realized in the JJIF Worlds. And actually one of the thoughts that kind of like allowed me to accept na maybe it's time to retire, because like I saw how the team performed and it was amazing. Like I said in my post, like 2018, I was the only medalist in the JJIF Worlds, and now see how many medalists there are, and not only in the adult, but there's like already the youth. So like there's so much ahead of us in terms of jiu-jitsu in the Philippines, and I'm excited to like play my part, not just as an athlete, but any other way that I can contribute to our country.
So with that last answer, I feel the excitement in you na parang tinanggap mo na you know, you've been competing for a long time. Now you're going to give back to the sport in a different capacity, and you've been doing that with SOLAS and of course your Fight to Protect advocacy. Tell us about that and how people can get involved.
Yes, so yeah, I recently started my club just last year, SOLAS Jiu-Jitsu. Also one of the major reasons why I decided to retire, apart from starting to coach in the national team. So if you guys want to train with me or the other athletes that we have in SOLAS Jiu-Jitsu, we're located in Robinson's Magnolia.
Malapit lang
yes,
dito. Yeah.
Very near. So it's inside the Hype 24/7 Fitness at the second floor. And yeah, we have classes for all ages as young as 4 years old until any age.
As young as 4 years
Yes, as young as 4
old.
years old. We have classes na 4 to 6.
Okay.
Kasi like, definitely the earlier you start, the better, right?
Yeah.
I mean, imagine, like, I'm imagining, wow, if I started that young, my goodness, siguro mga 20-something pa lang retired na ako. But anyway, that was not my story. But I'm saying that, you know, it's a great opportunity to learn. If you have a kid or even if you're an adult, we actually have a beginner's promo right now. So, libre yung basics classes namin ngayon until January 25. So, great opportunity to learn jiu-jitsu at Solas Jiu-Jitsu. And yeah, so if you guys want to drop by, feel free.
So, to anybody watching right now who is thinking about trying out jiu-jitsu, this is your sign to try it. Check out Meggie Ochoa's Solas Club. Okay, lastly, we were talking earlier and I had this curious thought. How does one retire? Like when you say, okay, I've done my part, I've represented the national team.
Yeah.
Like how does that work? Do you have to tell like the NSA that you're done? How does that work?
Well, first of all, I wrote a letter to the NSA. But of course, to officially retire, I have to like file my retirement with PSC.
Wow.
Yes, and hopefully get my retirement pay. Because yes, hopefully.
That has to happen for sure.
Yeah, no, because if you're a national athlete, you actually get 50% of the incentives that you got from the time that you started.
Wow!
Yes.
So madami yun para sa'yo.
Well,
kasi kakasabi ko lang kanina, di ba? 2 times sa SEA Games, gold medalist, tapos sa Asian Games, and of course yung iba pa.
Yes.
So Worlds.
Yes. So, let's see.
So Meggie, as a parting statement, maybe you have a message to everybody watching who dreams of making it as far as you did in your sport, or if you guys are watching right now, if you have your own sport, what would that message be as they are partaking in their journey or maybe starting their journey?
Yeah, so if you're starting your journey or if you're already there, like I said, just stay consistent. Number one, no matter where you are at, whatever point you're in, if you're in a high point or a low point, you have to give the same amount of effort. And then also, you have to stay humble because, you know, pride is going to be the downfall of anyone that's pursuing this path, right? So you have to stay humble, you have to stay consistent, and always keep the joy present. Never forget your reasons for doing what you're doing, and don't let it be just all about the goals, all about the results. Always remember what gives you joy.
There you have it, 3-time World Jiu-Jitsu champion Meggie Ochoa here on the Scorecard. Meggie, congratulations on everything you've achieved throughout your career.
Thank you.
And I guess enjoy retirement and the next chapter of your journey with regards to your sport.
Yes, thank you, thank you.
Meggie Ochoa here on the Scorecard. When we return, we will look into the upcoming NBA matchups, so keep your eyes on the prize.
Nuestro Padre Jesús Nazareno, niluluwalhati ka namin. Nuestro Padre Jesús Nazareno, dinarangal ka namin. Nuestro Padre Jesús Nazareno, dinarangal ka namin. Nuestro Padre Jesús Nazareno, niluluwalhati ka namin.
Lifestyle, beauty, food. We got you.
If you want a gift that gives back, memories that is, this one is on my wish list too.
Join Marie Lozano where she uncovers the untold stories and surprises in the world of lifestyle.
I had already accepted my excess baggage fate. Time to show me what you're really about.
The Lifestyle Lab on BNC, the Billionario News Channel. The questions.
Why sounds very serious,
Seryoso,
but watch
no?
it.
Di ba parang, cry, may away pamilya, etc.
The issues.
Who are supposed to be on the faces of our bank, of our money?
Bangko Sentral, no? There is a numismatic committee who meets and decides.
We clarify matters.
The 1,000 peso bill was changed from the three heroes of World War II to the Philippine Eagle.
Pinky Web is always on point.
Ciao, mabuhay. You are watching The Word Exposed.
Prepare our hearts as we dive deeper into our faith and receive the strength from God's Word. Join Cardinal Luis Antonio Tagle as he shares the reflection we need for the rest of the week.
We pray that the Word of God would find fulfillment in your life and His blessings be always upon you.
Every Sunday, 7 a.m. with replays at 3 p.m.
The latest news, national issues,
with regard to was very vocal about charter change,
the political scene, the trust and approval ratings of President Bongbong Marcos and Vice President Sara Duterte decline, and conversations with prominent personalities.
Brings back wonderful memories of past Christmases when I was a little boy in Iloilo.
Be timely informed, be insightful of the news. All these firsthand at the forefront.
Welcome back to the Scorecard. It's time to keep your eyes on the prize. We'll break down the upcoming matchups to deliver key insights that might just give you the edge you need to stay ahead of the game. Tomorrow, January 8th at 8:30 a.m. Philippine time, live at the American Airlines Center in Dallas, the Los Angeles Lakers will face off against the Dallas Mavericks. The Los Angeles Lakers enter this game with a record of 17-12, currently 6th in the Western Conference. They're looking to recover after a close 115-119 loss to the Houston Rockets on Sunday. Now, in that game, Anthony Davis was dominant with 30 points and 13 rebounds, while LeBron James nearly had a triple-double with 21 points, 13 rebounds, and 9 assists. However, the Lakers struggled early with James scoring only 5 points in the first half. They'll need a stronger start to stay competitive. Meanwhile, the Dallas Mavericks hold a 15-14 record, currently 8th in the Western Conference. The Mavericks are facing challenges after a 122-134 loss to the red-hot Cleveland Cavaliers, who have now won 9 straight. Both Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving are sidelined. Quentin Grimes led the team with 26 points, including 20 in the third quarter. However, the Mavericks struggled defensively, allowing 18 turnover points in the first half alone. The Lakers enter this game as slight favorites with a minus 4.5-point spread. Their stronger frontcourt presence led by Davis could exploit a Mavericks team missing both of their superstar guards. The over-under is set at 226.5, reflecting the potential for a fast-paced game if the Mavericks can find offensive consistency with their rotational pieces. Can the Lakers capitalize on the Mavericks' short-handed lineup, or will Dallas find a way to defy the odds and protect their home court? And at 11 a.m. Philippine time, live at Chase Center in San Francisco, California, the Miami Heat will square off against the Golden State Warriors. The Miami Heat entered this game with a record of 12-16, currently 11th in the Eastern Conference. They're coming off a tough 100-136 loss to the Utah Jazz, where Bryce Sensabaugh dropped a career-high 34 points to lead the Jazz. Miami's Nikola Jovic scored 17 points and Duncan Robinson chipped in with 16. However, the Heat struggled mightily from beyond the arc, shooting just 3 of 22 from deep in the first half and enduring their second straight double-digit loss. With Jimmy Butler serving a suspension, Miami has been unable to find consistency on either end of the floor. Now, on the other side, the Golden State Warriors hold a 17-11 record, good for 6th in the Western Conference. In their previous outing, the Warriors edged out the Memphis Grizzlies in a 118-112 victory, thanks to Stephen Curry's 38-point performance. Andrew Wiggins and Chris Paul provided crucial support, with Wiggins scoring 24 points and Paul dishing out 11 assists. The Warriors have been solid at home, making this a daunting matchup for the short-handed Heat. Golden State comes in as strong favorites with a minus 6.5-point spread. Their home crowd advantage and Steph Curry's recent form put them in a commanding position, while Miami faces an uphill battle due to injuries and suspensions. The over-under is set at 226.5, indicating a high-scoring affair as both teams look to capitalize on fast-paced offenses. Can Steph Curry and the Warriors defend their home court and build on their momentum? Or will the Heat find a way to defy the odds and snap their slump in this marquee matchup? We'll see. And here are the rest of the odds for tomorrow. And that wraps up tonight's preview, so you can keep your eyes on the prize. Before we go, think on this. From a legendary MLB catcher, manager, coach, and a 10-time World Series champion and 3-time MVP, considered as one of baseball's greatest catchers. Yogi Berra once said, "Losing is a learning experience. It teaches you humility. It teaches you to work harder. It's also a powerful motivator." And with that, thank you for joining us tonight. We'll see you again tomorrow on The Scorecard, where sports is our business and business is our sport, right here on the Billionaire News Channel. This has been Anton Roxas. Have a blessed evening, everybody. Good night.